Hi everyone, I'm Lucia Fallo, and today we will discuss about cultural relevance in adult ESL education. What is ESL? Adult ESL, or English as Second Language education, is essential for helping people acquire the language and become successful in their new communication in today's multicultural and globally connected world. Studying a second language means, by definition, studying a different culture. Since language and culture are incarnated, ESL teacher must be aware of the cultural distinctions and similarities that exist between their students and the citizens of the host country as well as the diversity of cultures within their student body. Cultural relevance as pedagogical approach. In English as a second language education, cultural relevance is the incorporation of cultural elements into the curriculum and instructional strategies with the goal of increasing students' understanding and relatability of the material. In addition to teaching students the language, it entails assisting in comprehending and appreciating the culture that the language symbolizes. The goal of cultural relevance in ESL instruction is to assist students in learning the language as well as the cultural context in which it is used. Students can acquire a peer comparisons of the language and culture they are studying, as well as improved communication and cultural awareness by integrating cultural elements into the teaching and learning process. Next, we have developing culturally relevant curriculum. The process of making curriculum designs and instructional material culturally relevant begins with teachers assessing their multicultural strengths and shortcomings. Topics like race, gender, class, language, and ethnicity should be contextualized in a culturally relevant curriculum rather than left out. A teacher that is culturally sensitive will include a thorough understanding of his students' cultural traits into a curriculum that is culturally sensitive. The classroom celebrations, awards, and variety of images and symbols are all part of the symbolist curriculum. Practice for incorporating cultural relevance in adult ESL education. A welcoming and encouraging learning environment that caters to the needs of students from a variety of cultural backgrounds can only be achieved through the integration of cultural relevance into adult ESL instruction. Here are some practices that can be implemented to help achieve this. The first, recognize the cultural background of learners. Teachers must make the effort to comprehend the cultural background of their students in order to integrate cultural relevance into the teaching and learning process. Understanding their cultural values, beliefs, habits, and behavior is one way to do this. The second, include cultural content. Giving kids from different cultural backgrounds access to the curriculum can help them relate to and understand it better. This can include works of art, music, literature, history, or other cultural expressions. The third, modify instructional tactics. It is important to modify instructional strategies to accommodate students' cultural variance. Teachers can adapt their instructional practice, for instance, to their accommodate students' cultural preferences. The fourth, teach cultural competency. Curriculums ought to include instruction on cultural competence. This can be achieved by giving students the chance to discover and comprehend cultural difference, as well as by imprinting on them the knowledge and abilities necessary to communicate effectively with individuals from various cultural backgrounds. The fifth, evaluate and revise to make sure the curriculum is still addressing the demands of diverse student body. It should be continuously assessed and improved. The sixth, continued support. Teachers should continue to support students from a variety of cultural backgrounds. This can be done by offering materials that reinforce cultural identity, creating a polite and encouraging learning environment, and attending to any concerns that might come up in relation to cultural differences. The last is collaborate with community groups and cultural experts. Collaborating with community organizations on cultural experts can yield new insights and resources that can further and enhance the curriculum cultural relevance. Advantages and difficulties of cultural relevance in adult ESL training. Okay, we will see the advantage. Cultural relevance has several advantages in adult ESL education. The first is better learning outcomes. By making the curriculum more relevant and accessible for adult learners from a variety of cultural backgrounds, incorporating cultural relevance into teaching and learning process can aid to improve learning outcomes. Second, enhance student involvement. By giving students the chance to apply their cultural perspective to the material being taught and to connect with the curriculum on the peer level, cultural relevance can also boost student engagement. The third, and enhanced student confidence. By offering students a more accommodating and inclusive learning environment that caters to their individual needs and cultural identities. The integration of cultural relevance can contribute to the development of student self-assurance. The last is improved readiness for international employment. Adult learners can be more prepared for global careers by embracing cultural relevance, which help them comprehend potential cultural disparities across many nations and industries. And the next is cultural relevance in adult ESL education difficult. The first is time constraints. It may take more time and resources to include cultural relevance into the teaching and learning process, which might not be available in all situations. The second, training and preparation for teachers. It can be difficult for teachers to successfully integrate cultural relevance into their lesson plans, therefore, they may require additional training and preparations. The third, cultural sensitivity. Teacher must be cognizant of and sensitive to the cultural diversity among their students, which may necessitate further preparation and training. And the last is cross-cultural communication. The relevance of cultural can also affect how teacher and students interact, necessitating extra work to fully grasp and acknowledge cultural difference. Although adding cultural significance into adult ESL instruction parents certain difficulties. The advantages exceed the difficulties. Educators can establish a more inclusive and supportive learning environment that promote improved learning outcomes, increase students' engagement and confidence, and better preparation for global careers by taking the time to understand and address the unique needs of learners with this diverse cultural background. So, finally, we are at the end of our discussion. Thank you for watching and bye.